Yo, what's happening, people? I'm back for a preview for Arsenal versus West Ham. Yes, Arsenal at home to West Ham in the Premier League this week, a London derby. But before we get into all of that, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has signed a ting. Finally signed a ting. He signed a new 3-year deal at Arsenal to keep him at the club. Becomes the highest paid player. As expected, he's the best player. He's staying as Arsenal captain, and he's going to be here for the long term. Listen, this was a huge deal. Let it not be known this is a huge deal. Let it not be known that this is the deal. This is the biggest deal for Arsenal for the summer. People might look back at this window in years to come and say, Arsenal had a bit of a mealy summer. No, we've got the biggest deal done. It just may not make all the headlines come the end of the season. That Aubameyang signed a new deal. Everyone's saying how massive it was. People are saying he's going to go. Let it be known also that he rejected the opportunity to move to Barcelona and Inter Milan. 2 concrete offers were made before people told me no one came in for him. He only wanted to sign for Arsenal. No, he rejected them. He rejected them to stay at the club. And as Arteta said, Arsenal are as big as them, which is why he's staying. Listen, there's a project. There's a project on for Arteta. He wants Arsenal to get back into the Champions League and he wants us to be challenging for the big honours. There's no doubt about that. And Aubameyang, as part of that plan, it's what all the other players that have come in this summer have said. And yeah, we look forward to having him at the club. Thank you, Aubameyang. And as one stays and other one departs, Martinez has now decided to leave Arsenal. He's gone to Aston Villa in a deal which could be worth up to £20 million. And people will look at it and say, it's a poor deal. Arsenal sold their best keeper. Rare. Listen, I'm on the side of Arsenal right now. I think Leno is our best goalkeeper, and Martinez would always be the backup. As great as he was towards the end of the season, listen, it was an opportunity for him which he took with both hands, and he led us to a trophy, no doubt about that. And massive props to him. He's got his move now. He's starting for a Premier League club, and hopefully he's already been named in the Argentina squad. So that's his aim, to get into that squad for the World Cup when it comes around again, at Copa America next year. So it had to be done. And you know what? How many other goalkeepers will go for £20 million? How many other goalkeepers will do that? I don't see many backup goalkeepers going for £20 million, and that's exactly what it was. So we've made money on that deal. Arteta said we kind of needed to make that deal done for both parties. I think we needed the money to go and spend out elsewhere, and he wanted to go play first team football, which you couldn't guarantee him. Now, there could have been a chance that he could have maybe broken to the first team if Leno weren't playing well, but there was no guarantees of that. So he decided to leave. And as I said, he's been there for so long, he deserves to get his chance to go. And I'm happy that we actually let him go. And on the other note, we're going to bring in a goalkeeper from Dion Runason, who looks like he's going to be our backup, potentially even our third goalkeeper, because there's talks going on with Brentford for their goalkeeper as well, David Raya. Our goalkeeping coach knows them both, and that's why they've come in pretty much. And so we got to trust that deal works out. But listen, Leno's going to be our number 1 for the season, so at least we know that is what it is. So going on to this game, Dan, Arsenal versus West Ham. As I said, big game, London derby. West Ham come into the game in a poor. Well, they've been poor. Let's keep it real. They were poor against Newcastle. Lucky to only lose 2-0. Look a shambles right now. They sold one of their best youth players. Their captain of the club is going out on social media saying how poor that was. Other players are liking it and commenting and saying, "Yeah, well done, good to speak out." People are going out on radio saying it's a shambles over there. It's absolute shambles, and so we have to come in and take advantage of it. Obviously, we're top of the league. You're done now for this week. After a good win against Fulham, goal difference and alphabetical order kept us top. So I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Now it's time to kick on. We got our first win of the season. Now, as I said a few weeks ago, this was a must. Get the 6 points on the board, and then we can look at Liverpool and Man City next. But first of all, focus on this game, and let's get the job done here. Team news coming into this game. David Luiz is back in training after a neck spasm kept him out of the Fulham game. So that's good to see. And that's the only sort of comeback. We know that Mari, Socrates, Mustafi, Martinelli are all still out injured. And then obviously Ozil and Guendouzi are sort of, yeah, let's just not get into them two right now. They're cast out in the wings. Torreira's not been in the squad. Looks like he may be on the move soon as well. And Kolasinac as well could be also on the move shortly. We'll wait to see what happens with them two. So I'll go straight into the lineup, what I expect or maybe hope for in this game. Leno in goal, as I said before, he's going to be our number one now. Going forward, I expect nothing to change there. So for 38 games, providing he's fit, he'll be our number one, and I'm good with that. I'm very good with that. I'm going to go with the back three again, because that's what Arteta has been playing. Now, David Luiz could easily come into this game, but this is where it gets all a bit techie, because Gabriel was obviously a left footer. He's obviously brought into play either in the middle or on the left side, so you wouldn't expect to see him going on the right. Now, David Luiz, how he's played previously at Chelsea and at Arsenal under Arteta, has always been in the middle. So I wouldn't have expected him to go out to the right either. Which means that Rob Holding probably going to keep his place out there. Now, it may change in the middle. It may be Gabriel or David Luiz coming in the middle. And I wouldn't be surprised to see David Luiz. But after his goal and a good clean sheet last week, I'm going to start with Gabriel in the middle. And, not start with David Luiz as yet. And at left centre-back, I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney. Now, again, going forward, there may be a choice that David Luiz goes centre-back, Gabriel goes left centre-back, and Tierney becomes a left wing-back. We may see that, but after the performance of last week and it had us how solid we looked, I think he might just go with the same back three again. Across the middle, I'm going to go with Bellerin at right wing-back. And I'm going to go with Ceballos and Xhaka in the middle. I know El Neni played there last week. I know he played there in the Community Shield as well. 2 good games. But listen, I think we've got to start getting to our best team now. And I don't feel like El Neni is that. And I think Ceballos came on and did well. Got into a little scuffle with Eddie and Nketiah at the start of the game. And I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Have a little scuffle, fight, show how much you want to be part of the squad, be part of the first team. They made up, shook hands, took a picture. It's all good. I want him to start now. I want Dani Ceballos to get around the games now, get in there with Xhaka so that he's ready. So I don't want him to first start to be, like against Liverpool or against Man City. I want him to get ready, fully integrated into the Premier League straight away. So I'll go with him and Xhaka in the middle. And then Maitland-Niles. Looks like he's making that place his own, that left wing back. So, as I said, the whole thing about Kieran Tierney being left wing back, he's got to shake off the competition of Maitland-Niles, who's been excellent there. And we've rejected offers from Wolves to come and sign him. So, it looks like that is going to be a place for him to play. And even Saka can't even get in over him right now there. Although I do really believe that Saka is one that Arteta wants to push up to sort of the front three echelons of the squad. And again, with the front three, I'm going to go with WILLIAN, Lacazette and Aubameyang. Surprised to see Lacazette start. Not as surprised to see WILLIAN start. But shows you've got competition there as well. WILLIAN starting ahead of PEPE. PEPE looks like he's got something to prove to get back into the squad. And I'm not mad at that. People will be laughing at PEPE can't start, 70 million, can't start. Good. Make man know that there's going to be, you have to work to get into the squad. Not that you're guaranteed to start. The only person who should be guaranteed to start in this team is Aubameyang and probably Leno. Everyone else, if you're off form, be ready to be dropped. And I feel like that's what it has to be. I'm not saying, obviously, PEPE hasn't been had a chance to get on form, hasn't played yet. And actually, in his last game that he did start, he did very well in the FA Cup final. But listen, you can't drop WILLIAN. Well, he may drop him. He may drop him now. But I don't think you can. Right now, in the form that he was in, for me, man, in the match last week, he's got to start. And the same with Lacazette. Okay, Lacazette weren't brilliant, didn't have the greatest game. But can you really drop him now and put Eddie up top, maybe? Obviously, Aubameyang is 30 on that left wing. So I think he'll start there. Also, bear in mind that we got Leicester in the Carabao Cup midweek. So that may be the opportunity where we do see the likes of Nketiah and Saka and Nelson. Saliba's playing in the under-23 games on Friday night as well. So we won't see him this week. But yeah, that may be an opportunity to see some of the young players there. Emil Smith-Rowe as well. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about Reece Nelson going on loan again. I could see it happening if get towards the end of the window. Especially now we've got Willian, Pepe, Saka out there on the right wing to come in. So I won't be surprised. Emil Smith-Rowe as well can play there. So I won't be surprised to see Nelson go on loan. I'd like him to stay in the Premier League. He did okay in Germany, but I want to see him. I want to be able to watch him on a regular basis out here. So I would like to see him go on loan in the Premier League if possible, if there is a club that wants to take a chance. But ultimately, I want to see him get games. And yeah, going into my prediction, obviously we started the Ramsey versus Arsenal. You may have seen it last week on my my review. So check out the reviews, because I'm going to be doing it at the end of every review. A look back on my prediction and see where that matches up with Arsenal game for game and towards the end of the season. I predicted a 2-0 win. We got a 3-0 win against Fulham. So Arsenal currently top the table in the Ramsey versus Arsenal. And this week I'm going to go for another win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win against West Ham this week. I know reality is we should be battering them. They're off of it. But I'm an Arsenal fan, and Arsenal fans are hasty. You know what I mean? We can't just be getting in all guns blazing 3-4, 5-0. I don't think we're there yet. But I don't think we're miles off it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us put another performance as we did last week. I'll take a 3-0 off your hands cash and we move on. But listen, my main thing is get the 3 points. So let's get the 3 points. Let's beat West Ham if possible. And we move on to the Carabao Cup midweek and then Liverpool the week after. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.